Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we'd like to welcome you to today's show. And John is going to tell us more about it.
With so many distractions going on in the external world, how does humanity stay on contract? What contract? What does that even mean? Very good questions. Thank you for asking, but I'll defer the answers to our show. But it's fair to say that it is more important than ever that we create our space of sovereignty, neutrality, inner peace and harmony. As such, this week we dive deeper into the starving out of the old and loving in the new, then deeper still into how personal reality creation really works. We are always creating our own personal reality, so it's best we understand the rules of the game. Individually, we are powerful, but as a community, we are an unstoppable force for the light, acting as way showers as that awakening of spiritual curiosity starts to kick in for more and more people. The journey towards the great remembering is very much underway. All wisdom from our show is then encapsulated into another wonderful Jolé Gabrielle guided meditation to help us embody these messages. Yes, it is time to put our underwear on outside of our trousers because we are going to be exploring our superpowers today and identifying what that is all about and why this is going to be an important thing for humanity. It's really a very empowering thing to go through to realize, yeah, we are being distracted out there. There's a lot of distractions. And why are the distractions out there? Because they understand how powerful we are. And it's once we remember all those things, that's what it's all about. It's about remembering. It's not about learning. It's kind of about learning, but it's all about learning what you already know. If you see what I mean. I suppose first couple of things to say, again, because I generally forget these things, so I want to mention these up front. Elevated Planet is a voluntary donation-based channel. We understand that a lot of people are going through their own economic hardships at the moment, so that is totally understood. Anybody who enjoys our content, anybody who can spare anything like the cost of a coffee or whatever, and are grateful to people who are able to do this for us. There's a PayPal link in the description below, and you can just send any contribution to us that way. That would be very, very well received. Thank you for helping us to keep the dream alive. The other thing, I suppose, as well, again, on that same thing, if you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe. I know we don't register very high on the YouTube algorithm, which means that it's not that easy to find Elevated Planet content. So if you do like what we do, please share it amongst like-minded people, because we also understand that a lot of our content is not mainstream, typical mainstream content. So you will know those people whose curiosity may be sparked, or those who are on the journey that would appreciate this and resonate with it. So anybody who can do that, we will be very grateful for that. So other than that, I suppose one of the things I wanted to start with this week was going to be about, say, the Venezuela situation, okay, where two back-to-back earthquakes within seconds of each other, causing mass destruction and loss of life, and massive rescue efforts going on underway. This is the sort of thing that we always think about when, for instance, when we're doing our Pam Gregory inspired global meditation, when we do our piece for this, we do it on Thursdays. For anybody who can join us, it's always going to be 10 till 7 in the UK, because 7 p.m. is when the Pam Gregory meditation actually starts. And it's all about, sending those waves on the quantum wave structure of positive, reinforcing life energy for, so areas exactly like that Venezuela situation, where there's a lot of hardship going on there right now. As I say, a lot of loss of life and everything that is accompanies that. So what do we do about this? Well, okay, it's been proven the power of intention is really a powerful thing. So much of the work done by Lynn McTaggart and the scientists who've worked with her have proven how powerful intention is. And so when you get a lot of like-minded people working together, and the energy is squared. So for every 10 people we get that add to what Pam is doing, it's a value of 100. For every 90,560 people she gets together around the world, that is the energetic value of 8.2 billion people, the entire population of the planet. So it makes a difference. But what I was thinking about, as Pam always says, you don't focus on the suffering, you focus on the solution, you focus on what you want these people to experience. And it just came to me in a flash this morning, when you're laid in bed and you're still half asleep and you're just thinking about things. And it suddenly came to me. One of the things we covered last week when we were looking at the Galactic Federation information coming through from Bukh on the Galactic Federation mothership with Elizabeth April, she spoke about how to kind of get that energy of unconditional love and how to direct that energy as when we're healing ourselves. And I thought, well, hang on a second. If we could get a personal vision, each of us, as to what that is, right? And then know that we can fall back on that at any time to get that really beautiful feeling and send it in a very specific direction, whether it's to heal ourselves or others. And here's the thing. So I'm just going to dive straight in. I'm going to just play you that clip from last week, just literally an hour, sorry, an hour and a half, a minute and a half. It's a minute, less than a minute and a half, just of Elizabeth talking about this very specific thing, just to remind you what last week's show had in it, within it, if you like. So bear with me a second. I'm going to just switch screens.
She said, find something, anything, one thing, okay, that you personally feel unconditional love for and extraordinarily grateful for. And I don't know why my example is always a blooming flower. I don't know why. And obviously I love my son and like I feel unconditional love towards him and like, so many other aspects of my life, but there's something so non-ego, non-emotional, just sort of objectively beautiful and graceful and magical and perfect within the composition of a blooming flower. For me, I can easily find unconditional love and gratitude for that moment, that flower, that plant, taking that energy and just creating that. She said, pinpoint the frequency of unconditional love in that thing or that person or whatever, okay? Apply that same frequency and blast that frequency into the problem area of your body. Love it. Love it. I love that advice so much.
So you may well recall that from last week, and I found that was really powerful. Whenever like you get ailments, to find that place of unconditional love within you, whatever it is, whether it's a blooming flower or whatever it happens to be for you. We're all unique, we're all different, okay? But once you can isolate that, focus that energy, and you just feel that warmth within you, you feel that joy. And then you put that, as you said, into that part of your body which may have the problem. But you could also send that energy on the airwaves. So like if you're going through a Pam meditation, like the Pam Gregory meditation, and to that point as well, I have actually attached the last Thursday's meditation in the description below for anybody who wants to look at it, because it stays there all week, and anybody who wants to do it on any day, you're always adding your positive energy into the quantum wave structure. So anybody who wants to reach out and effectively reach out to Venezuela as an example, it doesn't have to be Venezuela, it can be wherever you feel that you want to direct your energy, maybe something much closer to home, then play it. Just go for it anytime you like. Now so rather than just pushing it into like the troubled part of your body, to send it out there, like I just imagine that being really powerful. And the way of doing it, because it's sometimes a little bit confusing. How do you do that? How can you isolate? Is it white light? Is it this? Is it that? I mean, everybody's different, okay? But to me, that should really work. I mean, what do you think, Jolé?
We're absolutely right, John. And one of the things that she spoke about too was without emotion, right? And that was the one that kind of got me. I was like, okay, well, what can I use that's not emotion, or that gives me the sense of a wish fulfilled, but at the same time, I'm not going to go down some rabbit hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember that it's an energy and a frequency and an essence that you want to come through the heart. So when it's moving through a heart-centered space, it captures that love, or I don't want to say captures, but it expands it, because we talked about how the heart chakra is a frequency and a vibration. We'll get to that, right? And
Yes.
you can push it out there. So when you're able to sit in that energy of just healing and love and unspeakable beauty, and then you're sending that out into the universe, it really does have an effect. As we know, you said Lynn McTaggart and those heart math um,
Mm.
experiments, they're true. And also, too, just FYI, the heart math people know that around 10 p.m., the love quotient spikes.
Uh-huh. It's always 10 p.m. somewhere, Jolé.
Right.
And that's the thing as well, because the other thing is about the magnetic field, and as you say, we will be going into this in more detail. The magnetic field that surrounds us all, the torus, if you like, that is around us. We have so much energy within this body. I think it's something like 0.7 of volt per cell, and we have 50 trillion cells. So we are this literal magnetic field. But when you have that love energy, when you are based in the heart, it, again through heart math and everything, your field just goes massively out. If you're unwell, if you're out of balance and harmony with who you are, it shrinks. You see that. So,
Yeah.
it's just a thought. And I was going to mention as well, because Jolly, I mean, I know you from a family perspective with your mom and everything.
Yeah.
There's been, it's been a difficult week, but albeit
Yeah.
all bad, it's certainly there's
Yeah.
been good news along the way, but fairly traumatic as well.
Yeah. So I'm definitely doing that exercise, but I'd like to add one of the things to superpower it. First, you want to do is you want to open up that portal from the heart to the pineal gland. You
Ah,
want to let the pineal gland know what's going on. Look, this is what I need. I need for you to help me work this out. You feel that feeling, right? Or you feel, whichever one comes first, but you want to kind of merge those two. For those of you that go, I can't see, but you can feel. And maybe in your mind, you can start to hear what it
mm,
sounds like to be there. So like when I'm in theta healing, when we give people new behaviors, or you download into the subconscious information, you always want to know what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what it acts like. You got to know every single 360 degrees of what it is that you want in feeling. So when you're doing it, you want to hear the words, you want to see it, you want to feel the feeling. And even if you can only hold it for 17 seconds, right?
mm,
You just want those 17 seconds to like stack up on each other. And when a break, then you go back to it. You're driving, it can also be languaging to give you those chills, the heat running through your body. So you're looking for these markers to let you know that I'm sitting in my wish fulfilled,
yes, yeah.
because your frequency and vibration is so powerful. And when you were talking, John, I was thinking about how it would be easy if you knew the technology on these 50 trillion cells, right? And certain people's auras are part of this is turned off, right?
Mm,
So then you're not fully, then there's a hole in your aura layer because these 50 trillion cells aren't working. So you have to kind of look at that, like, what isn't working in my life? Where in my energy field am I open? And to kind of start feeling that. And then once you recognize it and say, do the pineal thing, and you can fix it.
yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And that's what, as we go on the show, you're going to hear other people talk about this and the ways in which it can happen.
Yeah, no, I've forgotten about the 17-second thing, but yeah, that's it. It's like if you
Yeah.
can maintain that concentration for 17 seconds, that kind of locks and loads it, right?
Yes.
And then you can go a multiple of that, because it takes that amount of time. It's like, is it something to do with the dendrites or whatever in your
Yeah.
neurology? It's kind of like you're
Mhm.
making new neurological connections within a certain space of time, and then as you repeat it, then that gets stronger and it grows and it grows. So yeah, brilliant. Um,
Yeah.
and the other thing I just wanted to mention on the healing side as well is that if you want to send healing to other people, you do so through the law of grace, correct?
Yes.
Because you're not trying to override anything that they have within their own soul contract or something. You are offering and sending through that law of grace. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's it. And also, yeah, the law of grace, empathy, all of that, it's in the same nutshell. Another thing to do is to send it from the heart. Always just see it moving from that space, right? Into whatever's coming into you, but it's pouring out of your heart, because that's the symbol of love and health and wellness. So
Mm,
that's another thing too. There's
yeah.
just so many things coming in that we could say about this. It's like, it's a beautiful remembering, and to get all the pieces of the puzzle and put them back together so that we can all begin to heal our world is very important, right? Or, you know, we could all benefit from it.
Yes. Yes. And if anybody does try these things and has any particular results that they want to share with us, then you can always drop them in the comments below, or send an email to me at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, because we always like to know from our community how we are getting on with these things and what works. Or if you have other ideas as again about things that might work that you want to share, then we're always happy to acknowledge that and share those as well.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon? Do we go into our first official section now?
Yeah. And one more thing before we go, we'd love to hear you comment as to what you use to receive that unconditional love, or helps you to expand that wish fulfilled feeling, because hers was a rose. And I thought that was really good because we talked about the non-emotional kind of thing. So it would
Yes.
be nice to know what
Yeah.
it is you're using.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Really good point. Right. Okay. So now we
Okay.
are going to our first official section, which again takes us back to Elizabeth April, remote viewer extraordinaire, as you know, and her Galactic Federation summit from June. This is another short section from there, and that is where we're going to be meeting Micca. And Micca is a hybrid grey, if memory serves me right. But it's all about raising awareness of the planetary distractions that are going on around us, and how it could potentially derail our contract from the prophecy. There you go. But anyway, all will be revealed. So we're going to let Elizabeth take that away right now. Bear with me a second.
Okay, a lot of things, but it's kind of all around the same vein. So I'll kind of go through this really quickly. She said, everything right now is meant to pull you out of yourself. And I'm going to repeat that because it's so fucking important. Everything going on right now in the world is meant to pull you out of yourself. When you are pulled outside of yourself, you lose connection with source and you lose connection with discernment. Okay? Micca went on to say that she's having meeting after meeting. Like, it's almost like everyone on board the Galactic Federation mothership, and obviously she's kind of more Galactic Federation of Worlds. I honestly don't fully know the difference. They work together. And she's saying that like everyone's working overtime right now. Okay. They're working overtime to ensure that humanity stays on contract with the prophecy, which is that we ascend into a higher frequency. So she was saying that we have to trust those contracts. If there is ever a moment to just trust that the universe, that the Galactic Federation, that our spirit guides, that our higher selves has our fucking back, it is right now. It's like by focusing on everything outside of ourselves that we can't control and fearing in that, we give away so much of our power.
The best way to end something is to let it starve. You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it. And whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away, like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over. But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back, and the game collapses. Step away, and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
Right now, your attention, your focus, okay, that is the currency of this reality. The problem is that everyone is looking outside of themselves and they have no idea what is real anymore. You know, like every once in a while, I'll read a comment and someone will be like, yeah, like someone online said that EA is, a government plant or like some sort of PSYOP program, or I don't even know what to believe anymore. And I'm just thinking, don't believe what people are saying. Don't even believe me. Believe in yourself. Stop externalizing your belief system into anyone or anything outside of yourself. The only truth meter that you need to tune in with is you. It's not a whistleblower. It's definitely not the government. It's not some spiritual guru online, okay? It's not your partner. It's not your in-laws. It's not your weird spiritual friend. The only truth that you can tap into is from within. And it's not even up here, guys. Trust me, I am a very logical, skeptical, knowledge-based person who tries to figure everything out up here. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, actually becoming a mom, 3 years ago, where I'm like, oh, discernment is in the heart space. Feel into what is real. Feel into what is true for you. And I know that sounds so cheesy and so woo-woo, but when it comes to AI and it comes to aliens and it comes to all of these false flag events and these stories online and these people that are just talking at you on YouTube, right? Who knows what the fuck to believe anymore? The chaos and the confusion is exactly where they want you to be. So here's what I recommend. Quiet the noise. If you feel like you are externalizing your belief because someone is telling you to believe in something, then maybe it's a good time to step back. Step back from that person. Hey, step back from this channel. However, if you feel a deep soul resonance, if you feel a connection in your heart space, and you should know the difference, sometimes it's subtle. The more you tune into it, the louder it gets. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't know how. I don't know why logically. Doesn't make sense, but somehow deep down, I know that that is true. I know that that is my truth. That resonates with me, deep down within. That is it, guys. That is your only truth meter. Because we're living in a world of illusion, disillusion. in chaos and fear and projection and manipulation. We're living in a world of AI projections. If you don't figure out your discernment right now, it's only going to get more confusing for you. This is the time, right now, to stop the external noise. Stop seeking external validation. Stop ChatGPTing your awakening symptoms. And tune in to the literal infinite knowledge you have within yourself.
So, I've got to say, I find this really powerful. It's very easy to see when you look at it through this particular lens that there are so many distractions playing out on the planet right now, trying to take our attention, trying to take us away from our true power, right? And I love the way that Alan Watts puts it as well. I've used that piece many times because it's just always worth repeating. Because it's powerful. It's true. Your focus is the new currency. So therefore, everybody is vying for your currency. However, what we really need to do is be investing it in ourselves. For me, Team John Drew, right? I've got, a team. I've got my higher self. I've got my team of guides, masters, and angels. And I know that every time I tune in, and again, using Jolé's kind of, wisdom in terms of meditations, that connection, the heart sort of pineal gland connection, connecting out there and, like encouraging, because a lot of the time you have to permission these things. If you ignore your team that's out there, they can't do anything, right? Because you have free will. That's what this planet is all about. So if you never ask, if you never reach out, if you don't even realize you have a team, which, let's face it, a lot of people do not realize that they're not here alone, right? But we're not here alone. We have this massive wisdom and knowledge at our disposal, which is outside of the physical, but is completely accessible to those that have only our best interests at heart. So I think that is really so important to kind of put it in that way, to realize that, all this disconnected energy that's out there that's trying to draw your attention is doing it for a reason. It's part of the test. It's part of the Earth School test for this shift of the ages, trying to take you away from focusing on where your real power, seat of power is. Because once you identify your seat of power and you get to engage with that on a regular basis, you can't be touched. That's it. Your frequency is now up here, and therefore whatever's going on here, you could do like the Pam Gregory thing. You would take your eagle's perch and look at it from above, fully understanding that what is happening and why it's happening. And at the same time, you then become a beacon for those around you who can see that you're not getting stressed when they feel you should be getting stressed, because you're focused on you. You are focused on your seat of power, as we said. So yeah, I think that's a really powerful thing. But I want to just bring Jolé in for comments on that as well.
Very good. And I'm listening to you, and something inside of me goes, it's where kind of like Tesla meets Joe Dispenza, and I was listening to something the other day, and it resonated very well. So this is part of practice. 369 was Tesla's. He says, if you understand this combination of numbers, or these numbers, you really have the keys to the universe, or the keys to manifestation, right? So one of the things that they broke it down as was 3, right? The 3, you want to listen to something 3 times in a row. Listen 3 times. When you're speaking, you want to, or if somebody's speaking or you're speaking, like affirmations out loud, you want to say that 6 times. And when you're reading something like your affirmation, you want to read that 9 times. And that's how you embody that energy in a way that can help you manifest. So I'm specifically talking about an affirmation. You're listening to it 3 times. Maybe you've recorded yourself like in a moon alchemy, listening to that 3 times, right? Then you have your words that you're saying out loud. You want to say those 6 times, right? And then you want to read them You want to read them 9 times, and even better if you write them out. So I repeated that because sometimes it takes a while to get it together. But when you do that on a regular basis, let's say you do it once a day, you're listening, you're speaking, and you're reading this in that order. It helps the frequency and the vibration. That's the way, like, you're revving your engine, right? You're revving. I don't know how you would, you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna, because you want to go faster. So that's one of the ways in which you can help yourself. Now, doesn't exist, but we're imprisoned by it, unfortunately. So I get sometimes when we can't do it all the time, but just try and remember that, so that you have these moments that you can use things to practice. Because oftentimes I was like, well, what do I do? How do I raise my vibration? What exactly do I do? You can go outside and ground, but some of the things you can do on your own are these little tiny tweaks that cumulatively over time, they really lead you to your goals and that unspeakable beauty that we talk about. But it's a constant thing. And we're being met with a barrage of don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, do something else. So carving out that time is also very valuable to keep the practice moving.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It is. It is. And one of the things I find as well is that all the external distractions, if I then allow myself to actually do what I know that I will serve me more, which is actually to take some time out for me and to then just focus on these things. And then I'm thinking, why do I not do this more often? Because it just feels so good, right? I mean, it's better than watching football on TV. It's better than this. It's better than that, because you just feel this wholeness, this beautiful tingly sensation, and it's joyous. So
And yep. And afterwards, you see the difference, right? Not to interrupt, but I've noticed, like, you'll sit there and you'll go, I know what I do, but why don't I do it? And that's like, we got to get all the chemicals of the physical body moving. And we also have to get some of that program out, because oftentimes we're doing things from a very young age we don't really want to be doing, and we don't know why we're doing them. Schooling, for instance, we logically know we need it to exist in this world, but there's a lot of parameters and boundaries around that make us sick. So that's one of the reasons why when we have something that's good for us, we eschew it, because we've been programmed to want to do the things, or we've been programmed to forced into doing the things we don't want to do. So now we're our own security guard. So when it comes to, like, doing things that make us feel good and having fun and meditating and raising our vibration, they've already put those little markers in there for us so that we don't want to reach for that. So that's why we talk about the practice, because the more you practice, the more you resolve and dissolve those markers, I want to call them, that they've put in throughout our food, commercials, movies, TV, books, learning, school,
yeah,
or it's an onslaught.
yeah, it is. It is. It's part of the challenge, and we chose the challenge, right? So we don't
Yeah,
need to feel bad about it. It's just realize that, we have the power to rise above it all. And
yeah.
it just makes it exciting. We just continue to learn and grow and expand
Come
and
on.
step into that power and step into our superpowers, which is what this next section is all about, right? It's
Awesome.
time to slip that underwear over the top of your trousers. And we're going to be going to Darius J. Wright.
Yeah. Don't forget your cape.
Oh, yes. Yes, we need something for modesty as well. So yeah, no, we're going to go to Darius J. Wright, who is wonderful. The thing with Darius, for those who are not familiar with his work, he's a man who, at the age of 16, had a near-death experience, which took him over to the other side. And when he came back, he discovered that he was able to actually, do exactly what Elizabeth does, remote view. Because having done it once, albeit, through a near-death experience, he realized that remote viewing is like a near-death experience, but it's a controlled near-death experience where you're choosing where you're going to go and what you're going to do. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, so Darius, we're starting with Darius. So if you bear with me a second, we're going to switch screens and get that started.
When you start to speak a certain way to yourself out loud, you will start to vibrate the cells to basically sync with the frequency of what you're speaking. This is why you hear people healing themselves. They heal themselves because a miracle, what people call a miracle, because they believe it to be so. They say, I'm not going to be sick. And then they start healing themselves. And, this has been proven as well, placebo, stuff like that. If you believe something with that much conviction, well, it's going to happen. When people talk about God, they talk about God as a singular being. And this singular being has control over all things. And that's control over everything. God is not one being. It's all of us. It's every single soul is its own God. Okay. When it comes to this construct, the creation of this construct, what I've come to through the out of body stuff is as above, so below, as within, so without. We have 13 months, supposed to have 13 months. This is why they did 12 months. Every single month is supposed to be 28 days based on the moon and stuff like that. So 13 months, 13 beings was the creators of this construct, the 12 realms, 13 beings, etc. That's what I've gotten anyways. But God as a singular being that created everything, it's all of us, every single soul. The whole creation of everything is based off of frequency, energy. Everything is. The physical body in and of itself is an electromagnetic being. That's what the physical body is. It creates an electromagnetic field. Your soul is an electromagnetic being. So everything in this whole creation is frequency. It's energy, sound, which creates certain tones. This is why every single soul is so uniquely different. When people say that we are all the same, that couldn't be further from the truth, because we are so uniquely ourselves that we actually aren't even close to being the same, because we have our own individual soul's expression, our own individual spark, our essence, our frequency, our tone that is not like the other. This is why when I was back in 16 and also all the other experiences that I've had through controlled out-of-body states, which is a controlled near-death experience, where every single soul is so unique that what I was shown for myself is that because of the uniqueness of each soul, without that soul being there, things would become out of balance. Things wouldn't actually even be the same. This is why when you do cross over, you remember beings that you don't even know here right now, but you know them. You sense their frequency, their essence. It's all there. We all know each other. This is why when you fully transition, cross over, or through control, or what I'm talking about, all is seen. Everybody's naked, essentially. All is known and seen by all souls through the records as well, because everything's recorded. Everybody is experiencing here the character of their own movie, and they can take control over that. This is why people have been so weakened to believe otherwise, that they cannot take control over it. This is why they lower the electromagnetic field of the physical bodies. That's why there's such an aggressive attack on many different fronts here. You have the attack on the physical health of the body to keep things dormant. Once you start disrupting the electromagnetic field of the body through food, certain foods, through frequency, then things start to break down. I mean, like I stated before in the beginning of this, those that need science, which science is a whole other dogma, but those that need science to understand this, it is scientifically a fact that your heart generates an electromagnetic field. So what in this field extends out past the body. This is why when you walk into a room, you can instantly sense something. You could feel something. This is why two women are sharing the same space. They will start to share their same cycles. They will sync, because you are an electromagnetic being, also sharing that you're communicating with each other. This is why when someone gets sick or a cold, it's not necessarily that they're passing a cold or a sickness onto somebody else. It's because their field is triggering another person's field to detox. It's triggering that to detox. All cold sickness, what people call viruses, all detox mechanisms based off the toxins that you have within your physical body. This is something that truly needs to be walked in an absolute knowing. When I typically hear people say, I'm going to increase my frequency, I immediately go to pretending to increase their frequency by meditating or whatever, and they're not actually putting the intention there and doing all things that are required to truly be that thing. How you truly do it is through truly standing 100% and completely in absolute knowing that this is what you want to do. So the desired result is what you want. You have to truly stand in that and be that. That's what you have to do. You have to start using your spoken words. The frequency that you speak has to align with the footsteps that you take. If anything's out of sync, then you start to get this warping effect. It's an undesirable effect where you say you want this, and you're not necessarily speaking and walking that path with absolute integrity and love.
Now let me call your attention to the design on the cover of this record. You will notice a man sitting on a park bench, imagining himself to be in a home. This is the secret of those who lie in bed awake while they dream things true. They know how to live in their own dream house until, in fact, they do. Man, through the medium of a controlled waking dream, can predetermine his future. That imaginal activity of living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled leads man across a bridge of incident to the fulfillment of the dream. If we live in the dream, thinking from it and not of it, then the creative power of imagining will answer our adventurous fancy, and the wish fulfilled will break in upon us and take us unawares. Man is all imagination. Therefore, man must be where he is in imagination, for his imagination is himself. To realize that imagination is not something tied to the senses or enclosed within the spatial boundary of the body is most important. Although man moves about in space by movement of his physical body, he need not be so restricted. He can move by a change in what he's aware of. However real the scene on which sight rests, man can gaze on one never before witnessed. He can always remove the mountain if it upsets his concept of what life ought to be. This ability to mentally move from things as they are to things as they ought to be is one of the most important discoveries that man can make. It reveals man as a center of imagining with powers of intervention, which enable him to alter the course of observed events, moving from success to success through a series of mental transformations of nature, of others, and himself. How does he do it? Self-abandonment. That is the secret. He has to abandon himself mentally to his wish fulfilled, in his love for that state, and in so doing live in the new state and no more in the old state. Now, we can't commit ourselves to what we do not love. So the secret of self-commission is faith plus love. Faith is believing what is incredible. We commit ourselves to the feeling of the wish fulfilled in faith that this act of self-commission will become a reality. And it will, because imagining creates reality.
I love the work of Neville Goddard. There's a really excellent compendium of his work, which lasted over many decades. 1960s was kind of the last decade that he was doing any meaningful work, because he passed in the early 1970s, as indeed did Alan Watts, for that matter. And it's interesting because, like with Alan Watts, he studied a lot of the Eastern philosophies, the Buddhism, the Hindus, and Taoism. And he brought that to the West. That was his thing. And with Neville, he spent a lot of time in Ethiopia. He was born in Barbados, but he learned a lot going to some sort of spiritual guru type folks over in Ethiopia. So he learned a lot of African things, indigenous wisdom, if you like. And that's kind of what he brought to this. And this is how he did his, and he was very popular. I mean, he had TV shows, radio shows, whatever, going through it for many decades, and rightfully so. He was very, very wise. So what this brought us to, again, we've talked about moon alchemy a lot over these last few weeks, and we have got quite a few moon alchemists out there right now, and an important time is coming up from that perspective as well, because tomorrow is the full moon in the United States. full moon in the United Kingdom and Europe is actually on Tuesday rather than Monday. So they're going through their meditations. What we do is we record your version of a world of unspeakable beauty, however you want to define that, and we put it within a meditation. It's all nicely curated. But what happens is every time you listen to it, you are aligning yourself vibrationally to what it is you are seeking to achieve, because within that you have, as was explained there, you've got to get into the imagination, you've got to get into the emotions, you've got to get into the gratitude and the playfulness and the intention and everything that sits behind that, and put that into the words, right? Because this is acting as if a wish fulfilled. Don't be wanting for things, because when you're wanting for things, you're actually sending a signal to the universe that you want to want things. Therefore, it goes further away from you. So you have to come at that, as Neville says, as if a wish fulfilled. And these things are magical. Now, when it gets to full moon, as our moon alchemists will know, this is when you go into a major gratitude phase to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Because even if your desires have not yet arrived in the physical, they're being created in the non-physical for arrival in the physical. So when you put your gratitude that way, it just accelerates that process, and then everything changes for the waning of the moon. So really, that is what it's about. Now, you got to bear in mind that what you're really playing to here is this universal mirror effect that we speak about quite regularly, because that's how it works, right? This is how we create our reality. The vibrations we put out there are mirrored back to us. So if we get caught in the external narratives of fear and anger and division and all the rest of it, we're actually asking for more reasons to feel fear, division, and anger and all this kind of thing. Is that's basically, we become a magnet for that. Whereas when we're focusing on the really high frequency energies, that are the things that we'd really want for ourselves, we're being a magnet for that. Simple as that. It really isn't that complicated. I mean, there is an awful lot more to it beyond that, and Jolé will get into that in a moment. But it's just about the other thing, and you'll see this in life. You'll know optimists and you'll know pessimists, and you'll know how it's strange, but the pessimists always attract to them the results of what they're pessimistic about. Similarly, the optimists who always have their glass half full, they're the ones who always things seem to work out for. So there's something there, and it may be an unconscious thing, but it comes down to this. And I've used this before, and I'm not a Bible person by any stretch of the imagination, but I know the Gospel of Matthew, and because I always have this written out because it's a really good one to remember, because it brings you back on track. Gospel of Matthew 25-29. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what they have will be taken away. Right. So what that is saying is that so if you're stuck in lack programming, if you're stuck in that lack mentality, unfortunately, what you're doing is you're being a magnet for more lack. At the same time, the people, and this is the way it works, right? People who are naturally abundant, people who have a lot of money, don't worry about money, right? Therefore, in feeling positive about money, they draw more money towards themselves. When you really need it and you're wanting for it, you're pushing it further away. So you've got to bear in mind, that's a really powerful statement from the Bible right there. If you bear that in mind, that you need to reprogram yourself. And this is basically what the moon alchemy thing is about, is the opportunity to do that. And I'm going to bring Jolé in on that, because she's the one who talks about the reprogramming side of things, and she's very good at it. So Jolé, what do you reckon?
As a theta healer, I learned that is so important, is to get in the subconscious mind. And the analogy that we like to use is that the conscious mind is the monitor. It's kind of, what is that? That's like a different brainwave. I think that may be delta or something like that. I'm not sure on that one. Alpha. And then there's the subconscious mind, which is the theta brainwave. Now, the theta brainwave is what does all the reprogramming. And that is the place between sleep and awake. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you're almost sleeping and somebody makes, and you wake up. Okay, that's the area where theta is really effective. And so in the moon alchemy meditation, what happens is your subconscious hears your own voice. So it can relax. And it can do the reprogramming because it's coming from a safe space. And from that, you're able to then change what's happening on the monitor or the conscious mind. And that's why the moon alchemy meditation is so impactful, because it's your voice, which automatically puts you in a safe space. It's also going to help you take care of the self-sabotaging we talked about from all the programming that's coming in externally, because it's you dealing with you, working with those 50 trillion cells, lighting you up, expanding you. And it gets you in alignment with the phases of the moon, which then has a physical body relax, which the circadian rhythms can now move in a way that promotes health and wellness. So you can't go wrong with this moon alchemy meditation, and just all that it can bring you when you're listening to it. It's going to right the ship, so to speak, because Darius told us it's only really 28 days. We're really living in a, what do you want to call it, a simulation that is a virus. So to get out of that virus program, we got to get back in rhythm with Mother Earth. And the moon alchemy is a great first step to help you get there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point actually, because Darius did mention about the fact is that the year is supposed to be of 13 months, right? It's 28 days cycles of the of lunar cycles, and
Right.
the real power in that is that the fact is in the waxing phase there is a certain element where you have to do, and then in the waning phase it changes around, and this is kind of following, you're going with the energetic flow, so you're not fighting against it, whereas the 12-month calendar has kind of dumbed us down and taught, we've been taught to
Yeah.
swim into the tide rather than with the tide, so we basically struggle to go anywhere. Again, part of the false programming and conditioning. So this is getting back into alignment with, and
Yeah.
it was interesting actually, because I know that in the Bodleian Library in Oxford University, they discovered the Bible, which King James Bible dated 1775, which had all this moon alchemy stuff in there. It had the complete lunar calendar and the energies behind it. Nobody published that, right? Nobody would push that out there because the church, and they didn't want that seen. They didn't want people to know that we actually have the power of following that energetic cycle. And we're working on a journal which will support the meditations as well, which we're working on. In fact, just to say to Joy, who's out there watching us right now, thank you. They arrived yesterday. So she's done a number of sketches which are going to support the Moon Alchemy Journal, to help us to visualize and manifest what we're doing and what it's all about. So thank you, Joy. Truly appreciate your artwork and your support from an Elevated Planet community perspective. So thank you for that. So what do you think, Jolé? Is it time now to head towards the meditation?
Yes, it is absolutely time to head towards the meditation. Let's go.
Right, we're going to do that. We've got some more Darius wisdom just to take us into Jolé's wonderful guided meditation visualization. So without anything further, here we go.
Let's just say if you want to manifest something in your life, for instance, you start to imagine it. You start from the beginning, all right? Beginning, there's the void, the darkness, right? And you birth light into creations. You're going to start there. You close your eyes, you see the black space, the beginning of all things. You start to imagine it, you birth the light into creation. Light is always secondary from darkness. You see, darkness is the true state, the void, the black space, and light was always birthed from the black space because the void holds all the colors. So you start there. You start to imagine it. You start birthing light into creation. You envision what you want, imagination, envision it, manifestation into creation, what you want. And then when you see that, then you hold that focus. You have to be focused and hold that focus on that, your desired result and your desired outcome. And as you start walking, you need to start walking that path, using your words, and walking in integrity, walking in love, and not stepping out of those things, not getting distracted over here or distracted over there. Just tunnel vision on that, what you want, essentially. Because once you think about this, once you focus that amount of energy, your soul, your electromagnetic field, the soul, and you funnel that energy into one thing, it's like a speed train there, you see?
Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Bring your awareness to your chest. And just keep your awareness there for a moment. and just feel unconditional love. Take a moment and just ask your body, what does unconditional love feel like? And just let that move throughout your body. That feeling of unconditional love radiating out from your heart, bringing wellness and health into all of your cells. And this overwhelming wellness moves out into your aura layer, surrounding you with so much love, joy, amusement, that it just bursts out into your environment. As you then visualize a grounding cord from your first chakra, rooting itself into Mother Earth. It's 6 inches in diameter. And once it roots itself, Mother Earth blankets the inside and the outside of the grounding cord with golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles. Pull your aura in to be 1.5 feet around you. Your higher self standing at the power position, a comfortable distance above your crown, and your astral body snapped in. And once it's locked in, all that information that it had or retrieved while you were sleeping, it's downloading to help you remember. So as we take another deep breath in, on the exhale, we're going to visualize the bottoms of our feet opening like the lens of a camera as we call in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. So see that essence pool in the bottoms of your feet. Start to travel up the side channels of your legs. While this is taking place, your crown, visualize it opening like the lens of a camera, and that 85% cosmic gold life force energy comes cascading down, raining down on the higher self and moving into the crown as it saturates and gets into all those positive folds. Reprogramming the neurotransmitters, having the synapses fire in a way that creates wellness, maintains health, as it then moves down the neck, balancing hormones, moving into the arms, sparking creativity as it moves back and down through that unconditional love that's in your heart that you're feeling, and it supercharges it because you know there's so much sweetness in life and you feel it and you're able to digest it and let go of what no longer serves as this earth energy and this cosmic divine life force energy combine and begin to fill you up like water fills up a cup. And then it starts to pump throughout your body like a washing machine, washing away any negativity, anything you're ready to let go of and release, anything that no longer serves you. Moving down your grounding cord. And from this space of allowing yourself to be a channel of light and blessings as earth energy and cosmic divine life force energy, gold, runs through your body. Visualize your heart opening, the double doors of your heart opening. As you send out this energy into the universe, this unconditional love, this earth energy, this cosmic divine life force energy, focus it out and surround Venezuela and all of the places that are suffering, but especially there. See it blanketed in your unconditional love. See the beauty of the Venezuelans repairing their country, See families be reunited, buildings be rebuilt, governments, institutions being revamped to support humanity and the citizens of Venezuela. See them move into a state of unspeakable beauty and unconditional love for each other, where they move through this struggle and this challenge and into a new reality. One where they are dancing, they are laughing, they are joyful, they are celebratory, and in remembering of who they are and commemorating all that may have lost, all the loss that may have taken place has been transmuted into more creation, more beauty, more joy, more life. As you see Venezuela sprout, this beautiful, beautiful city filled with beautiful people inside and out. Mother Earth is thriving as they come back into wholeness. So hold that space. And from here, as you send this energy, I want you to tune in to the center of your heart and open that portal between your head and your heart, the pineal gland. And say to the pineal, talk to it and let it know what it is that you need, what problems you want to solve. And ask your pineal to help bring whatever is necessary to help Venezuela heal. Allow for that to appear and go there. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and allow for the spirit and your energy to help transmute the pain in Venezuela into unconditional love and unspeakable beauty. As we now move up into the center of our head, and here we're going to visualize 2 roses outside our aura layer, to the right and to the left, 5 energetic feet away. As we open our brow chakra like the lens of a camera, and we send all the people, all the places, and all the things into those roses outside the aura layer, cleaning out the center of our head so that whatever we do, whatever energy that we're sending, stays focused and concentrated. So clean out all the worry, the doubt, the fear, the past programming, the people, the places, and the things, as that golden sun above your head is calling all of your energy back, all of your power to reinvigorate those 50 trillion cells. Power them up and keep them going. So as you clean out the center of your head, just imagine and feel all of your energy coming back. Any pictures that are coming in of the past, just allow them to move out of your vision and go back to holding the space of your dreams, of what your life would look like, what it looks like with these blocks removed, sitting in a state of health, wholeness, and wellness. As you work with that pineal gland to manifest, you're bringing in so much unconditional love. You love yourself so much. So much self-love pulsating through your body. Letting your pineal gland get clear about what message to send to the universe. Your unique energy signature on your behalf. And when you're ready, if you've got all of that energy out into those roses, give them an energetic push. That just means visualize them moving away from you, about 10 energetic feet. Blow them up. Turn them into positive, creative life force energy for anyone to use. Looks like fireworks. And that golden sun above your head, filled with all of your energy, comes into your crown and infiltrates and absorbs. It's being absorbed within all of those 50 trillion cells, reprogramming the subconscious for health, for wellness, unconditional love, unspeakable beauty. Now that all of your energy is back, we're going to go ahead and let go of and release any ancestral programming, any genetic coding, any vows, any contracts, any agreements, any spells, any curses that have been put upon us or our family line. We're going to cancel, pull, delete them on a soul, core, and genetic level, resolving and dissolving them on a history level, and filling up first with divine sovereignty. You know what you're doing. You know why you're here. We are now letting go of the doubt and the fear, and we are standing 10 toes down in our purpose. So anything or anyone that is getting in the way and blocking that, gotta go. So as you breathe with the rhythm of your body, we're gonna do a positive teaching healing, negative teaching healing, and trauma teaching healing for divine sovereignty. Cancel, pull, deleting on a soul, core, and genetic level, any vows, contracts, agreements, spells, curses, or other obligations you or your ancestors may have made with any energy or entity to stay as food, to stay blocked, to keep playing it small. We send to Creator's light and we place on all three levels with unconditional love for others and self, unconditional forgiveness for others and self, and unspeakable beauty. We resolve and dissolve this on a history level, any spells, contracts, curses, agreements our ancestors may have made. And we replace with unconditional love for others and self, unconditional forgiveness for others and self, and unspeakable beauty. So as you breathe with the rhythm of your body, allow for the quantum to download to all of your energy, divine sovereignty. As it moves throughout your body, into your aura layer, into your environment. And that energy moves down your grounding cord, chasing those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles into the core of Mother Earth, bringing you back to health, wellness, and wholeness in the highest and best way, most loving way, and with grace and ease. You are restored. You are recalibrated, and you are standing 10 toes down in your divine purpose. No longer being held by any past ancestral programming, moving into the future as the past has resolved, dissolved, canceled, pulled, deleted itself, and we are stepping in to our new reality. as this 15% earth and 85% cosmic gold pulsates through your body, sprouting out your feet, hands, and crown chakra, bringing this new information into your aura layer and into your environment, magnetizing in a reality of your making, curated by you in the highest and most loving way. Hold the space, hold the vision as you breathe with the rhythm of your body. You're grounded and rooted into Mother Earth. So much love. The quantum field is working with you, 85% gold, just beaming down into your crown, creating a whole new you, repurposing, repositioning the cells to support your most loving good. Feel the love that you have for yourself. If not generated from the heart, what does it feel like? What does unconditional love feel like pulsating through my body? What does unconditional love look like with my behavior? What does it sound like with my words? Unspeakable beauties all around me. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it act like? What does it sound like? Let your pineal answer those questions and let the heart act them out. Not act them, but embody them and remember who you are, a being of unconditional love. So as you breathe with the rhythm of your body, sit in a space of knowingness and allow for this frequency and vibration to move you into a state of joy. As you take a deep breath in and exhale, you exhale unconditional love. We're going to close our brow like the lens of a camera and allow for our energy to settle in the center of our head. We're going to take another deep breath in, and simultaneously we're going to close our feet, our hands, and our crown chakra, allowing for that energy to settle. Our new recalibration to take hold, reverberate out into our environment as we take another deep breath in and open our eyes.
Beautiful. Wow.
Okay.
Ticking a lot of boxes there, Jolé.
It was a tad disjointed, but
Oh,
we
no.
were trying to get
Yeah.
to spread the love and then bring it back to ourselves, because if we don't have it for ourselves, it ain't gonna make it over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we really want to expand out from ourselves, because when we love ourselves, we make better decisions for not just ourselves, but for everyone else.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I love the blend of having, the Venezuela focus as well as, again, this ancestral, the vows, the contracts, and all this kind of thing is so important. I mean, that's one of the things I've learned, again, with the creating the new reality, right? Sometimes we are limited because of things that we can't see for ourselves, because it may not even be in this lifetime. So it's
Right.
so important that we get that in and be able to be able to remove those blockages. So love it. Thank you. So just wanted to say a thank you first off to all our community and all the comments that have been coming in. We've got some really beautiful things here from the community, and yeah, some real wisdom. I mean, this is the good thing about our community. We're a small YouTube channel with a small community, but we have people who are on our wavelength, right? And that reflects itself in the comments that come through. Anybody who wants to join our distribution list for our newsletter, if they can send me an email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life. And the same thing is for any inquiries on Moon Alchemy. If you would like to have your own meditation curated, just get in touch with me at johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, and we will come back to you and explain what needs to happen. And we will be able to make the magic happen. What else, Jolé?
Please make sure, I think you might have said it, but to like, share, and subscribe, because we need to get out there. And don't forget to just breathe. That's what I'd like to say. Take some deep breaths throughout the day. It really helps with keeping you healthy and well.
Yeah.
And calm.
Yeah.
As well.
Breathing is one of my favorite things to do. So, but no, but
can't do without it. Deep breathing is what I'm talking about.
No, I know that. But at the end of the day, I also kind of one of those things that, just having a bit of a chuckle at that. But at the same time, I do know that breath work is so exhilarating. It takes you to another level. When you start to do that proper breath work kind of thing is, wow, that is amazing. So again, when you're doing those breathing exercises through the meditations, wow, that really does take you to another level as well. So, yeah. Okay, so again, Thursday, meditation, Pam Gregory inspired, magnetizing the new earth frequency, again, reaching out to those places around the world that need those positive vibes. And again, as I said before, last Thursday's meditation is in the details below for anybody who wants to check it out. We do it every Thursday. We do it live with a little bit of extra information in there, but it's only a very short thing. It's only literally half an hour from start to finish, including the Pam's meditation itself. So anybody who can join us on the Thursday, whether it's live or whether it's in the recording thereafter, energetically, all counts the same. Anything else we want to add before we depart, Jolé?
No.
We're done?
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, again, thank you to all our community. We love you loads, and thank you for all the wonderful comments. And we'll be breaking these videos down, as what we do these days as well. Break these videos down into smaller bite-sized chunks, because not everybody wants an hour and 20 minutes, but they're quite happy to spare 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes for a bit of wisdom sharing and keeping it, within a certain topic range. So watch out for that as well on Elevated Planet channel, but you'll know that because you're going to be subscribed to us. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic time. Hope to see you Thursday. Till then, we wish you the best of luck and life and a new reality of your dreams. Take care.